I've been getting a lot of questions. What tires should I use on the KLX250? I figured this can be a very unique video, not because it is a dirt bike or a common dual sport, but the KLX250 can be three things: a light adventure bike, a hard enduro machine, or a city commuter. I have put close to 400 hours in 1 year with all of the bikes I own. And with this many hours comes tires. See, I always thought the KLX250 was in its own class because it handles the harsh stuff just like a dirt bike. The only thing keeping it from an actual dirt bike is just the power. In my personal opinion, I can recommend 5 tires, but this will be a bit biased since I mostly do off-roading and not much on-road use. So I can only recommend tires designed for 50/50 use and on. And each of these tires will be in its own class and use. My very first recommendation, if you mostly off-road, you are more of an aggressive rider with some mild single track in the mix, but occasionally trail hop to get to your next trailhead, my favorite combos are MX216 Shinkos with the 505 cheaters in the rear. There is a catch though to this pair. I mostly use these tires because we have very rocky terrain in Colorado, and these pairs definitely provide an extra comfort when hitting rocks head on. Think of it as an extra plushy pillow in the mix. But not just that, with the extra beefier sidewalls comes a lot less flats. I am notorious for getting flat tires, but I am yet to get a pinch flat with the MX216s and cheaters in the rear. However, these are not my favorite tires in very loose conditions. The 505 cheater seems to shine on hard pack, rocky kind of trails with excellent rear brake traction. My second favorite pair is the TKC80s. These pairs, wow, I am not sure how these tires do it, but their special formulated compound allows me to still ride aggressively and maintain tons of traction. It is definitely not as confidence inspiring as the MX216 and cheater combo, but it is enough to still let me hit trails head on and not worry about mileage. On the road, the TKC80s are amazing. They handle just like a street tire, allows me to hit twisties with confidence, and allows me to go on rocky terrain with ease.
It's a really fun road, man. A lot of twisties and stuff, sharp turns kind of thing. There's a lot of gravel on the road too, so all the way to Phantom Canyon Road.
However, its weak point is when the TKC80s is met on sandy terrain, this becomes a totally different tire. This shoots my confidence way down low, and cornering becomes a bit worrisome. The TKC80s are more for people who like to ride out from their houses and have a good commute on pavement to get to their off-road destination. I have close to 3,000 miles on my TKC80s, and they are not showing any wear yet. My third go-to pair is a bit of a controversy. It seems to have a 50/50 mix in between when it comes to people's opinion, but I have ridden the D606 quite a few times, and I can say it is an incredibly off-road worthy tire, with great wear and tear. And if you have seen Cool Eyes Colorado channel, he rides incredibly steep Colorado single track on D606 just fine. The D606 is meant for riders who are more off-road worthy, but with a little more on-road use in the mix. I would consider these 80/20 tires because they perform great off-road. Anything from sand, rocks, to even mud. My ideal usage on these tires are from someone who tends to spend 10 to 20 minutes on pavement while riding around to get their next trail. The D606 are incredibly planted on rocky trails, gives you great confidence for the soft stuff, and has smooth response for the street. Now what about the fourth tire? Let's talk about an aggressive adventure ride. You're looking for a great tire on road, but want that aggressive off-road nature to handle anything thrown its path. My preferred tire here is the Michelin Cross AC10 tires. These tires do remarkably well. They behave more aggressive versus the D606 on the dirt, but somehow provide excellent road manners. These tires are usually the choice for adventure riders looking to do a 2,000-3,000 mile trip. Once they are done, toss out the tire for their next new pair. I believe these tires are the best true dual sport tires who rides primarily harsh off-road. These tires offer excellent traction on virtually any terrain. The bad part is, you mostly will get a max of 3,000 miles out of them if you throw a lot of pavement into the mix. But the AC10 can also be reserved for 100% dirt riders looking for the closest thing to an actual dirt bike tire with the extra longevity. So think of it as a long-lasting dirt bike tire. Now my last favorite tires that I recommend on the KLX250 is the Tusk Adventure tires. Now I have not owned these tires, but I have ridden them a few times through a few of my buddies. I was incredibly surprised how well they did on the soft stuff. Their deep lugs definitely digs very deep and adds a solid nature when it comes to sandy and loose terrain. When we took it on the rocks, it behaved very well, but this was most likely due to its PSIs. I tend to ride around 12 PSIs off-road, and my guess was these tires might have been around 20 PSIs. I believe these tires would be great for the KLX250 riders who do mild off-roading with a lot of forest roads in the mix. Especially if the forest roads have deep gravel in the mix as well. These tend to be very popular with bigger bikes who adventure ride, so I am guessing with the KLX250 you can report over 2,000 to even 3,000 miles based on the research I have done. Anyhow guys, thanks for watching. If you guys like my content, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell button, and if you guys are interested on some of the tires I have mentioned, I provided links in the bottom below. And I'll catch you guys on my next video.
Wow, this is pretty steep.